Greetings guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monette and this is my channel Evolve with Monette. For those of you that are new here, I am a professional intuitive empath, and in case you cannot get to a professional intuitive empath, in case it's not in the budget for you, we're going to do a little tarot to go. It is a series that I was guided to do because of my angels. They said teach them and they will learn. So here we are, we're going to evolve together. Pick 3 out of this series. There should be up to 70 videos here that have tarot to go in the title. And if you have a question, if you are the querent asking the query, and you're going to be the reader for yourself, pick no more than 3 videos. The first one's going to answer the main question. The next 2 will give clarifying nuances and further information. So right now we're going to study the Hermit card. I was guided to use the Cook's Tarot as I have a background in catering and culinary. With the culinary school, I was a caterer for many years. So the book is upside down. I was also a teacher, though you couldn't tell it by me holding the book upside down. All right, so we're going to talk about the Hermit. So this is what the Hermit looks like in this deck. Now the reason that it says the Hermit on the bottom here, the lantern is very significant. That lantern will be in every deck. There will be a lantern in every Hermit card because that's one of the most significant things. I want to hold it up for you so you guys can take a look at the Hermit here as they've depicted it, and we're going to talk about why they depicted it that way and get into it. The Hermit is the ninth. It is the affiliated with Virgo energy. The stars are shining. It's the 9th card in the major arcana on the Fool's Journey. The tarot is the Fool's Journey. So it is what we all go through in life or in any journey, whether it's a dark night of the soul, spiritual journey, just to give you a little bit more understanding as to what I mean by that. The stars are shining bright. I'm hearing, oh, the stars shining bright. I don't care if it's cloudy or bright. I only have eyes for you. The Hermit only has eyes for what's in front of it and what's next to do. That's what you need to understand about the Hermit. The stars are shining brightly and the moonlight is reflecting off the water. Magic is in the air. This woman rises from her solitary studies. Solitary is an imperative word, okay? Solitary studies, closes the books and throws back the curtains that have been obscuring the view. She looks outside, seeing the beauty of the night for the first time. It has always been there. She marvels as she has never fully appreciated it before. At this time spent sequestering herself from the demands of society in order to complete her research while the night was patiently waiting, she raises a silent toast to the end of a cycle of knowledge and the beginning of another. Some of the key elements in this are the books. There are so many books in the world, and all that knowledge is trapped between all those pages. Today, our computers have taken over the role of providing answers to all the questions, but there is instant access available to the touch of the fingertip. But the books in this card are symbolic of knowledge that has always been there, but is not available via the information superhighway. They remind us that research is time consuming and requires solitary effort. The answers we start out looking for are not always those that are eventually revealed. That's powerful. The lantern, remember I said that's going to be always in across the board in every single tarot deck. You're going to see a lantern. The lantern literally provides light when it's dark. It illuminates the shadowy corners and allows for safe passage. It also can act as a beacon that guides others to us. In this card, the lantern is symbolic of internal reflection. It is shown sitting on a table, lighting the interior of the house, while the moon and the stars provide a brilliant display outside the curtain. To open the curtains means to open the mind and to look outside one's own narrow perspective. It's time to shake off old customs and values. The right side of my face is itching, which has not happened this whole time. I've been working a lot tonight. That's masculine energy. What are we seeing specifically? So what we are, a raised eyebrow as well, investigating, curious, maybe not finding satisfaction in something. Whenever we see the Hermit, they're holding that lantern out. And one of the things that I like about the Hermit is that it means that you don't have to necessarily disclose to anybody what the next step is that you're taking. The Hermit is incredibly solitary and private, and Virgos are renowned for not really seeking out others' counsel, really counseling themselves and doing what they want to do and moving in the direction that they want to move. When you pull this card, you are being guided to not share your plans with everybody. You are being guided to incubate. You are being guided to be really focused on what is right for you. The meaning behind the card is the 9th card in the Fool's Journey towards enlightenment. 9, the numerological term, means the end of a cycle, but yet not yet the beginning of a new one. The Hermit is also associated with Virgo the Virgin. The character of Virgo is analytical as well as skeptical, always gathering information, looking for the perfect solution. The Virgin implies a certain aloof attitude that complements a state of aloofness. This card is about finding the answers by yourself. Solitary. It implies the end of a cycle of ignorance and confusion. When you draw this card in a reading, you're being told that it's not the time for careless action, but rather it's a time to sit quietly and reflect on the situation. It's a time to end a previously held belief. This card also requires from you the kind of introspection that can only come in peace and solitude. The celebration comes from the freeing yourself from preconceived expectations. The shadow side of the Hermit is found when isolation becomes harmful. I'm going to talk to you guys about this. And you cut yourself off from others because you're too caught up with finding Virgo-like perfection. As always, the answer lies in finding a balance. This time, the answers are to be found by slowing down and reconnecting with yourself. This is so important for my empaths that have been through the dark night of the soul because of a relationship with a narcissist. We can over-hermit. And if this is the 9th card in the Fool's Journey, then there are many more to come. And so whether that hermit state has been self-imposed or not, you will not be allowed to linger there. You will have to move on in order to evolve. It is not just the namesake of the channel. It is not just the thing we do together. It is the thing that you are tasked to do. You were dispatched and you chose to incarnate to learn these lessons. So yes, you can incubate away and be in the private space of your heart and seek out the perfection of your own company because you found humans to be messy and quite imperfect. That's a very Virgo-like say. Virgos can be quite persnickety about perfection to any degree. But you cannot sit there and introspect infinitesimally. You will have to re-enter the world. What did you learn when you're in your hermit state? That's a question to ask yourself. If the hermit comes into your spread or if you've been hermiting. Because that's what you take back out with you into the world in order to grow and have better understanding. Now you've become a scholar. Now you have really ingested information, imparted it, and transmuted it. Virgoian energy is responsible for all of our institutions, the bank, the library, the hospitals. All of it is created by the energy of Virgo. So it's about order, but also about knowledge and the knowledge that fills the inside of that. What have you filled yourself with in your time of peace and solitude? The kitchen wisdom is being alone does not have to mean being lonely. That is what you need to know from the Virgo energy. Being alone does not have to mean being lonely. Another lesson here is that you can find so much reward in being in your own peace and space. If you were to pull Virgo energy and you were having a relationship problem or question, then it would mean that spiriting yourself away is the answer for you to get some level of clarity about that relationship. It may be an uncomfortable and inconvenient truth, but it is the truth of it. Your angels are guiding you to do that. If you're asking about how to deal with a gossipy work situation, removing your energy is what you're guided to do. If you are trying to help your child discover which college they should go to, you need to visit those colleges and investigate and see. The lantern is the light that will lead the path before you to set you free to knowledge, actually. Okay? So that's how you can kind of use it in a real life reading for yourself. It will always have different meanings. And if none of that makes sense to you, then what's the first thing when you look at the card of Virgo that jumps out to you? For me, I see the color of her dress. A heart-centered decision, because the color is green and that's associated with our heart chakra, will need to be made. You may be incredibly emotional, but the water isn't roiling too much, but you have emotions attached to the decision that is here. You have an instinct to hide because of the curtains, my dear, and you need to research because of the books, but also shine the lantern and take a deeper look. That's how I might read this card. And that's not about reading the book, because you will not have the book with you when you really start to dive deep into intuitive reading. I learned how to read without cards at all, and I'm so grateful for the way that my angels walked me through the process. Cards were the last thing that I added into my repertoire, and I started with angel cards only and oracle because of my own dogmatic indoctrinations that I had to unlearn. So it was one of the last skill sets that I acquired. And so if I can learn it, especially through all of those layers of dogma, then you can learn it too. The Virgo energy is very much within you. Thank you for choosing Tarot to Go today. Pick your 3 and find out what the answer will be. Come back and join me next time, guys, and we'll continue to evolve together.